Stallings, his teammate, Keenan Kimber, Windy City Simsport 1-3 right now. So we have the red lights up here, 3, 4, 5 red lights now. Off and away, Jamal Stallings gets a slow start. Riker Lummel gone from him off the start. He'll take the lead easily. Steve Kuntz trying to go from P4 to P2 right now. Going the long way around Jamal Stallings as both Windy City Simsport cars get poor starts. Oh, Keenan Kimber might have went bowling there a little bit. He's got his teammate and then he put him into Steve Kuntz. Steve Kuntz somehow gets it back onto the racetrack fairly cleanly. Ridwan Hamza looking to the inside of Rosario now as he'll take over P5 and go for P4 on Steve Kuntz. A little bit of lagging going on through the pack. Ridwan Hamza trying to take away P4 from Steve Kuntz now. He'll take the shorter way around and almost complete the pass, but Steve Kuntz is going to fight back entering this corner. Now he is the short way around. So they go side by side through here. Ridwan has the positioning. Looks like Steve Kuntz is going to give him it. No, never mind. Steve Kuntz sends it back up the inside, but it's not going to happen. Ridwan finally takes the position. So Ridwan Hamza up to P4 already from P8. But really, Riker Lummel's the story so far. He jumped off the starting line, got a fantastic start, and took over the lead from P2. This 18-lap feature, he's 100%, I think, going to lead lap 1 without a safety car. Keenan Kimber also got a pretty good start. I think he played a little bit of bowling, though, with his teammate and Steve Kuntz, though, so that might be under review. Jamal Stallings quickly fading now as he was passed fairly quickly by Ridwan Hamza. Ridwan now up to P3 from P8 on the start. 3 seconds back of our leader, Riker Lummel. Riker looking to get maybe another podium here tonight. Maybe even a win. He'll lead lap 1 of this race. Rosario now with Jonathan Jurgensmeyer not too far back behind him, looking to get past Jamal Stallings fairly quickly. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, will see if he makes the pass on either of these guys. Jamal late on the brakes, trying to keep this position. Might have made contact with Rosario as Rosario goes wide. 100% make contact as he comes back on and forces Steve Kuntz off the racetrack. Kuntz sideways in the middle of the field. He definitely got hit. I'm not exactly sure by who. Could have been Knickel. Knickel has a time penalty. That might have been from the contact. We'll see if that brings out a safety car back up to the front. It does. Riker Lummel slows down, so that'll be a safety car here in the feature. Rosario looks like he got kind of shoved off by Keenan Kimber. Or not Keenan Kimber, Jamal Stallings, my apologies. Jamal Stallings knocked him off the racetrack and he just came back on right beside Steve Kuntz, and Steve Kuntz off the racetrack and then tried to get back on and spun out in front of the pack. Not exactly sure who made contact with Steve. It could have been a number of drivers. Could have been one of these two. I think it was either Knickel or Luke Allen. It was in somewhere in that area. Also could have been Gabe Cazzola. So let me see if I can go onto the stream here and get a look at who did it. As these guys who got penalties are actually going to come out fairly well because of that. So we'll go back up to the front. This is something probably Riker didn't want to see. So he had a nice little gap over Ridwan and over the rest of the field, honestly. So now that gap will be absolutely nothing. As we'll go back on the stream here, try and see if we can get a look at who did this. So Steve Kuntz gets shoved off, and I think it was the car behind. Oh, that's weird. He might have actually just spun that far on his own. I'm not sure. I can't tell. I legitimately can't tell. That's interesting. But somebody made contact with him. I'm just not sure who it was. Could have been Kevin Kepley, maybe. Kevin Kepley's back in P13. Could have been Marcus Snow for all I know. Sven Robichaud actually would probably be my bet, because he's back here in P11. He started I think it was P6. Yeah, P6 he started. As a couple guys make their way down pit road, including our P2 starter, Keenan Kimber, decides to come down pit road. Decides to get off those softs really early. AJ Knickel, Gabe Cazzola, Marcus Snow, Kevin Kepley, Steve Kuntz, and Dean Malenko. I think it's, or Dan Malenko, sorry, not Dean. I thought of someone else. So what is that? Top 10, top 9, top 8 all decided to stay out on their tires. Among the top 8, we've got soft, medium, soft, medium, soft, medium, soft. So pretty decent mix. I think it's about a 5-3 mix. So Keenan Kimber decided to switch on the mediums. Knickel goes to the softs. Cazzola goes to the softs. Marcus Snow also goes to the soft. Kevin Kepley mediums, same with Steve Kuntz and Dan Malenko. I don't think it's Malenko. Let me look at it again, because I feel like I'm butchering it. It is Dan Matella. Why did I think it was Malenko? My apologies for that. It's Matella. So Dan Matella also on mediums. This will hopefully go green this time around. Something we've noticed with some of the drivers is that they think they're good on fuel, and then they're not because the averages are slightly skewed and the fuel calculator gets it wrong. So that's something that they have to calculate themselves, is that these safety car laps are going to bring down their lap time, lengthen their lap time averages and kind of ruin their fuel calculator a little bit, make it think that they're using less fuel over a run. So gonna maybe have to go a little bit over what the fuel calculator says to not get yourself stuck in a situation there to where you have to come down late or run out of fuel on the racetrack, like we saw happen with drivers like AJ Knickel, Luke Allen, several others have had that issue where they run out, lose a bunch of spots at the end. So we'll surely go green here as we got all 15 cars lined up. Riker Lummel will have the option to start anywhere from the end of the or I think it's the middle of the final corner to the start finish line. So we'll see where he decides is the best place to restart here. He comes through these final two corners. 60 miles per hour is our pace speed every series. A little bit above that. Oh, he goes really early, actually at the start of the corner. So interesting decision there from Riker Lummel. He's going to give all of these guys slipstream, especially the one right behind him, your sprint race winner, Ridwan Hamza. Ridwan's going to reel him in really, really quickly. See if he makes the move entering turn one. I don't think he's going to be close enough, so Riker's going to fend him off for now. Jamal Stallings under pressure from Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, but Jamal trying to get a little bit closer to Ridwan as he has a little bit of a mistake there on exit. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer went really wide trying to get the run off. It looks like he did just that. He's going to be all over the back of Jamal Stallings here. He's going to look to the inside for P3. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, he's really impressed this season with his team owner Knickel. He's been really good, got his first podium at Monza, and he'll take over the final podium spot here at Barcelona. Back up to the front though, Riker trying to fend off Ridwan Hamza. Further back, Lummel, Jamal Stallings gets sent off the racetrack by Rosario. Rosario known to be a little bit aggressive, and it looks like he caught Jamal Stallings off guard there. Rosario sent him off, it looks like. Oh, Luke Allen trying to make the move back across on Gabe Gazzola and gets sent off. Oh, Luke Allen, oh no. Looks like he thought he was clear on Gabe Gazzola. And unfortunately for him, he was indeed not clear, and he got sent off into the grass. So that'll send him into P15, and he won't be too happy with Gazzola if I had to assume. I don't think he expected Gabe to be there. Maybe not exactly sure. Looks like he either got loose on Gazzola or just, you know, just thought he was clear. Do we have another safety car? Looks like we do, yeah we do, and this will be the time where Riker Lummel decides to come down pit road. Ridwan Hamza stays out, same with Jurgensmeyer and Rosario. Gabe Gazzola already made one of his pit stops this race, will come down pit road a second time from P5 this time. AJ Knickel also made a pit stop already this race. He will also come down pit road. Jamal Stallings, first pit stop of the race for him. Fidel Fabian and Dan Matella will also come down pit road. Luke Allen also coming down pit road from P15. Really nothing to lose for him. So Ridwan Hamza takes over the lead of this race now. I'm not sure what the safety car was there, or was for that time. I don't really think that was... I don't think that needed a safety car, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll go look at this Luke Allen incident now. Yeah, no, it looks like he just thought he was clear. He just got off that curb and cleared himself, and unfortunately for him, Gabe Gazzola was still on his left rear corner panel, and I guess it's corner, and he cleared himself and spun out. I don't really think he has a reason to be mad with Gazzola there, so shouldn't see any aggressive racing between those two, but nonetheless, did send Luke Allen to the back, so that's unfortunate for him. Once again, though, I think we'll have a pretty short caution period here, though. I think it'll only be 2 laps, which is kind of rare. We don't usually have a 2-lap caution period. Jurgensmeyer now, though, up to P2. So maybe he could get the jump on Ridwan Hamza here and maybe take over the lead on those softs. Top 2 on softs, and then third and fourth are both on mediums. Keenan Kimber actually has already made his pit stop, so maybe a little bit of strategy here. He can go as hard as he wants, really, on those medium tires. I think he's already switched off the softs as well. Ruby Chad, he also pit. I don't think Steve Kuntz has come down pit road, but I'm not sure. Marcus Snow, he pit. Same with Kevin Kepley. Riker Lummel, he's the first of our cars that just decided to come down pit road. Keep Pizola has a 3-second penalty. I'm not sure how he got one of those. I think he'll keep his penalty though, I'm not sure. See, he's gonna slow him down significantly though. No, he'll keep his spot, so it's probably the best part of the race, or best part of the race to serve a 3-second time penalty. Is we'll get back going here with all 15 cars lined up. Coming to end lap 5 of this feature race. Our last sprint feature event of the season, your last feature race of the season. Next week, in our final race of the season, will be a endurance race at Bathurst. So we'll see when Ridwan decides to try and get the jump. A huge gap between a lot of drivers in the back. Not sure what happened there as they all try and speed up. Ridwan gets the jump on Jurgensmeyer. Really, really good start from Ridwan. We'll see if he can maybe break this slipstream a little bit here, not let Jurgensmeyer get too close to him, but it looks like he's honestly gone. Jurgensmeyer might have got caught sleeping a little more than he would have hoped on that restart. So now Rosario tries to make a look or dive at P2 maybe a call off for the start. Yeah, call off, all right. Might have had a wreck in the back actually. I think that's what happened. I think everybody got so strung out that we might have had an incident in the back, so call off in the back of the pack as we'll try it again this time around. As Jurgensmeyer, he kind of knows what Ridwan's game plan is going to be here, so maybe he can get a better jump this time. As we see if Ridwan can once again get the jump here. We're coming through the second sector right now. I assume everyone got their positions back. Looks like everyone's in the correct position. Yeah, because I know for a fact Marcus Snow was a little farther up in the pack and he was P15 when we look back through the field. So we'll get back going this time around. Hopefully there won't be too big of a gap this time. Kind of jinxed it. Thought we were just gonna have a 2-lap caution period, but pretty much a 3-lap now with that little false start we had. See where Ridwan decides is the best place to get the jump on Jurgensmeyer. Just looks like the field just isn't bunched up well enough. We might have more of the same this time too. We'll see if it gives us a better camera angle to look at the field. Not sure. We'll see where Ridwan decides to jump. Still has not went. There he goes off the corner. Jurgensmeyer better start, but still not very good. He's within 6/10 at least this time around. Farther back, Robichad under pressure from Steve Kuntz. Steve Kuntz got a great start looking up the inside for P5. He'll have to get back in line. Back up to the front though. Jurgensmeyer having to fend off a charge from Rosario. He'll dive into that corner. Top 6, 7, 8 single file it looked like. First battle it looked like it was about P9, P10 maybe. Looked like AJ Knickel might have been trying to get around Riker Lummel. Same with Cazzola. Back up to the front. Jurgensmeyer trying to keep in check with Ridwan as Ridwan starts to pull away. Not too far behind Jurgensmeyer though. He's got Rosario who is hungry to get around him. We already saw him use a little bit of his aggressiveness on one of the Windy City Sim Sports cars. It was Jamal Stallings. name escaped me there for a second. Oh, we got a car around in the back. I'm not... that was Ridwan. I don't know how I missed that. All right, that's... okay, that was a Fox moment if I have ever seen one. Ridwan Hamza has binned it from the lead. I don't know how I missed that one. I'm going to be honest. Ridwan Hamza, though, gives up the lead to Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, who will now try and pull away with this lead. Ridwan, 7 seconds back with 14 cars he's going to have to get around. He quickly gets around Jamal Stallings there for 1 position, and Dan Matello, actually, for P13 as well. But that was my bad, my fault. Missed that one. But meanwhile, Keenan Kimber has gotten himself up to P3, and he's now looking at P2 on Fernando Rosario. Not sure how I missed that one. I'm going to be honest. It was right in front of my face. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. Car off in the gravel. It's Stefan Robichad. Steve Kuntz also went off. Steve Kuntz got the penalty, too, that Robichad didn't. Knickel up to P5 on this lap. Looking for P4 on Steve Kuntz. He's going to look to the outside as we got a little tire smoke up there. Looks like Rosario might have overcooked it entering the corner. He lost P2. Down to P3 for Rosario is Cazzola looking for P5. Cazzola has actually shown a lot of strength in this feature race so far. He's driven through the field twice now. Cazzola looks to the inside of Knickel. Trying to make the short way work around this corner. Knickel pins him hard to the curb, though. Cazzola might have used a little bit of his rear right side. Not going to work, though, as Cazzola goes around the racetrack. Oh, he gets it off the track. Riker Lovell had to make a really evasive maneuver. And did that bring out a safety car? No, it did not. All right, so we keep on racing here. Jurgensmeyer's got a nice little gap to Keenan Kimber as Rosario continues to lose ground. Steve Kuntz now on the back of him. 5/10 penalty, or half a second penalty, that's what I'm going to say, for Steve Kuntz. Gabe Cazzola, I'm not sure if it was just being pinned to the curb that bad, maybe got on the gas a little bit too early, but really, really affected him, and he spun out there on exit. AJ Knickel looking the long way around on Steve Kuntz. Can he make it work? They're going to enter this corner side by side. Steve Kuntz doesn't give him a lot of room. Knickel has to go off into the gravel, pushes Steve Kuntz wide. That's going to give Robichad the chance to get piece 5 away from Steve Kuntz. So they go side by side through this almost flat out corner. Robichad with the preferred line. Oh no, he might have made contact with Steve Kuntz there as Steve Kuntz goes off the racetrack. From P5 to P11 now for Steve Kuntz as Fidel Fabianoso are going to try and make the move on this straightaway. Back up here, AJ Knickel had a nice little gap to Stefan Robichad as they started battling. Marcus Snow, Robichad's teammate, on the back of him. P5, P6 for the teammates right now as Marcus Snow looked who's inside there. Luke Allen. Oh no! Luke Allen got into Riker Lummel entering that corner. I saw him make a little bit of contact, and then Riker did a half spin there, able to keep it mostly straight though. So he goes down to P9 or P10. A lot of these guys are making it easy on Ridwan Hamza, as now he's down to up to P9 from P15. He'll have to keep on making it work as we're about halfway through this race. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer has opened up a 2.3 second lead on the rest of the field as he continues to work out here. He's going to have probably the better tire here at the end too. I think the mediums are going to work because he'll just be able to go at the end. He won't have to worry about tire life too much. Right now he's got to try and conserve these tires, these soft tires, not use them up too much. AJ Knickel with the 5/10 penalty. That's going to hurt him here as Robichad's going to look to get around him. He's going to try and go to the left-hand side. He's easily going to make that work. Knickel going to try the cut back here on Robichad, but it does not happen. Oh no, Robichad! Wait, oh, whoa, what the? Oh, okay, alright. It sent him off the race. Oh no, and then Jamal Stallings made contact with him, and it sent him off again. Oh, so Robichad spun out there. He did spin out. I think it was just, it got on the gas too early there for Robichad. And then it put him back onto the track and into a dangerous spot, really. Because I think he might have accidentally cut the track there. I think there's an opening in the track, and it reset him in front of Jamal Stallings. Jamal had nowhere to go, ran into him. And unfortunately for Robichad, it put him in the same exact spot. So reset him twice. That's going to severely hurt his race. Even the spin was going to hurt him a lot, but those two resets really, really hurt him. As Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, lost a 10th that lap, 2.2 seconds now to Keenan Kimber. Keenan Kimber not too far behind him is Fernando Rosario, 1.3 seconds back to be exact. So I think everybody's going to have to make it one more pit stop as we're on lap 10 of this feature race. We'll go back to Ridwan, who's got himself up to 7th. 9 seconds back of the lead, but he's got a 5/10 penalty he's going to have to serve on this lap. He's gotten around Jamal Stallings and Riker Lummel, who's both have had issues. Riker Lummel actually trying to make a move on Jamal Stallings right here for P8. Steve Kuntz not too far behind. Also got shoved off by Robichad in the final corner. So we'll go back up here. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer's opened it up to 2.6 on this lap. He's looking behind him. He sees all these fast guys. Keenan Kimber, Fernando Rosario, AJ Knickel, Marcus Snow. He's shown great pace this race. He hasn't been up front a lot this season, but right now P5 carrying the torch for his team. Luke Allen not too far behind him. LA7 Racing, only one car here. Night Connor Hannick couldn't make it, but he's doing quite well as he's got Ridwan Hamza, who served that time penalty and still only 9 seconds back. He didn't lose much on this lap. He set the fastest lap of the race last lap of 41.5. Someone has decided that it's time to come down pit road. That's Rosario. So Fernando Rosario decides that it's time to get off these mediums, time to get on the softs and go to town. Try and make up the ground on Jonathan Jurgensmeyer without a car in his way, as Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is starting to lengthen this gap. 3.3 seconds for Jurgensmeyer. AJ Knickel now has slotted himself up into a provisional spot on the podium. I mean, obviously, he's still going to have to get around Rosario should be able to get back around him. Luke Allen goes off the racetrack there in the back. Surely feeling the pressure from Ridwan Hamza. Ridwan all over the back of him, trying to find a way around. Luke not making it easy on him, but Luke goes a little bit wide there, and Ridwan takes over P5. Ridwan, as well as the rest of these guys, will still have to make a pit stop, so he's using all those softs up. He has not made a pit stop, so he will 100% have to go onto the mediums. But the mediums worked pretty well for him in the sprint race, so I assume that they'll work just as well here in the feature. We'll go back up front. Oh, I thought I heard a car around. Wow, might have just been like a half spin there from Keenan Kimber. He is now 4.9 seconds back, 5 seconds now. As I think that was probably the right call by Rosario to pit, as he would have been right with Keenan Kimber right now, would have been losing all sorts of time to Jurgensmeyer. Instead, I think he came out probably in a clear section of racetrack. Yeah, nobody around him. The gap to pit is probably about 30 seconds, if I had to assume. Jurgensmeyer, 5.4 second gap. Right now, AJ Knickel trying to make it a 1-2 for 44R. He'll look to make a move entering turn 1. He'll look to the inside of Keenan Kimber, send it deep on the brakes there for AJ Knickel. Overshoots it just a tiny bit. Keenan Kimber, maybe a switchback incoming. Looking the long way around now is Keenan Kimber. Oh, might have made a little contact there with Knickel as he tried to cut back. Not exactly sure, but he's got a great run here entering this next corner. Not going to make the move though, as Knickel completes the pass for P2. So now he'll see if he can try and chase down his teammate Jonathan Jurgensmeyer for the lead. Jurgensmeyer has a 6-second gap now to P2. He actually has not lost any time to Ridwan Hamza in these last few laps. Gap is 9.3 right now, as Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is going to town right now, putting in his best effort of the season. He's learning this game every race. Really, really, really great stuff from him. Really impressed. It's one of the guys that just, you know, have impressed me, honestly. Him, Adam Pelkey's been really quick this year. Just those kind of guys have just done a lot this year. I guess season. I shouldn't say year. I don't know why I say year, but this season. Ridwan Hamza with another 5/10 penalty. It's going to hurt him even more. He'll have to serve it next time around. We'll see if Jurgensmeyer finally decides if it's time to pit. No, he will not. So he comes to lap 13 of this race. AJ Knickel 5.5 behind, so he did cut into Jurgensmeyer's lead there. Jurgensmeyer with a 42.1. He's been really, really consistent, really. Anywhere, I guess not. He's actually, that was one of his less fast lap times. Knickel only gained a 10th, it says. So, Jurgensmeyer shouldn't be too hurt about that. Keenan Kimber's actually lost a lot of time on this lap. He's 1.6, or on that last lap, he's 1.6 back at Knickel. Now, as Marcus Snow tries to reel him in for that final podium spot. we'll go back to what we really need to be worrying about. Ridwan Hamza actually is what we should worry about now. Has finally decided to make the move to softs. So with 6 laps to go, Ridwan has had enough, or I guess the mediums. He's had enough of the softs and has went over to the mediums. So he's going to have to make quick work on these medium tires if he wants any chance of this win. Rosario, man, he might jump Juergensmeyer if Juergensmeyer decides to pit. Gap's down to 34.5 seconds. Last time we were with him, it was 36. So we'll see what Juergensmeyer decides to do. Coming to 5 laps to go. Not exactly sure what tire Juergens. I think he has to go onto the mediums. I don't think he has come down pit road this race. Ooh, really, really loose off of that corner. So see Juergensmeyer come around this next corner, and we'll see if he decides to pit. That's how we'll be able to tell this corner right here. If he dives it down to the inside, he will. 5 to go. Juergensmeyer makes his final pit stop of the race. We'll see where he comes out compared to Rosario. Knickel also comes down pit road. Same with Keenan Kimber. Will Luke Allen do the same? Yes, he will. Riker Lummel, will he make his final pit stop? No, Riker wants to lead a lap. Riker decides that he's going to go one more lap at least to go lead a lap. But the real battle that we're going to watch here, we're going to watch Juergensmeyer's pit stop. We'll actually see if anybody else. Steve Kuntz decided not to pit, but Jamal Stallings did. Top 3 right now, Riker Lummel, Steve Kuntz, Stefan Robichad. Juergensmeyer finally getting service from his pit crew. So we'll see where he comes out compared to Rosario. Rosario's already on the front straightaway. Here we go. Off of the exit. Where is Juergensmeyer? He's just coming out of the exit now. Here comes Rosario on fresh tire, on warm tires. They're going to be side by side entering turn 1. Juergensmeyer and Rosario. Rosario's cut that 3-second lead down to nothing as he looks to the outside. Oh no, Juergensmeyer got a 3-second time penalty. Oh no. Juergensmeyer, oh, that's going to be the end of his race with that 3-second time penalty. Oh, that's truly heartbreaking. He had a really, really good shot at this one. As he, oh man, him and Rosario, we're going to have a really fun battle, I assume, and we're going to be able to battle this one to the end, but I think Fernando Rosario is going to be handed one here. As we're just going to watch here as the inevitable happens. Jonathan Juergensmeyer is handed this 3-second time penalty on this straightaway. Here it comes. Heartbreaking for Juergensmeyer. He starts to serve that. Man, Rosario almost got to the back of him. There it is. We'll see how much time he truly loses. It's only 2.5. 2.7 now on the exits. Keenan Kimber goes a little bit wide there. He was able to jump back in front of Knickel. He took a lot less fuel than Knickel though. Knickel now takes over P6 on the racetrack, but I think it'll be P3. Yeah, man, he got really loose off of that corner. Ridwan Hamza, though, not too far behind these two. That's what we really need to see. As we come onto the straightaway, the gap right now, 3.5. It's going to be at the line for Juergensmeyer on those mediums compared to Rosario soft. So I think even with that time penalty, I don't think it would have mattered. But the real thing that's going to hurt him here is these guys back here. He's going to have to fend off these guys really hard for P2. So we go back up here. Steve Kuntz, man, he's got a nice little bit of fuel. Him and Rosario actually have the same amount of fuel. Has Steve Kuntz pulled something off here? Have I overlooked Steve Kuntz? Steve Kuntz has just the tiniest little bit less fuel than Fernando Rosario. If you look at the fuel gauge in the bottom left-hand corner, it's to the right of the tires. Rosario is actually less than Steve Kuntz now. Steve Kuntz might be able to pull off the impossible here. Kind of ruled him out after that incident with Robichad, but he saved a nice bit of fuel here, and he might pull off the impossible. Riker Lummel, I think, also might have tried this strategy, but I don't think it's going to work for him. I mean, it surely won't for Stefan Robichad, who will have to pit in the next 2 laps, as we're coming to 3 to go, actually. So we'll see if Robichad dives it down pit road. Riker Lummel, the same for him. Yeah, Riker's going to dive it down pit road. Robichad will do the same. So Steve Kuntz, on the mediums, with 3 to go, has more fuel than Rosario. So either Rosario has underfueled, and I'm just overthinking it, or Steve Kuntz has pulled off a insane strategy and won this race by, it's gonna end up being less than 10 seconds obviously, but right now it's 10 seconds. Steve Kuntz, man, I gonna slap myself for that one, for not thinking of that earlier. I mean, just, you know, it kind of passed my mind with the whole Monza incident. Everybody tried to save fuel there and it didn't, or everybody ran out of fuel, and some people tried to save fuel as Ridwan and AJ might have made contact there entering that corner. So AJ kind of blocked to the right and Ridwan tried to go even farther right, wasn't able to make the move. As farther back, man, Rosario, he's too far back of Steve Kuntz. He's actually using a lot of fuel here. So he's gonna have to be careful that he doesn't run out of fuel so that he wouldn't lose second in this race. As back in the farther in the pack, Ridwan's still trying to find a way around AJ Knickel. He's in P6 right now. Ridwan's got to be hitting himself. He's gonna ruin his feature streak with that mistake, where he was just gonna pull away. Honestly, I don't think Jurgensmeyer would have had anything for him if he just kept it straight. He's making a lot of mistakes too. Back up here though, Steve Kuntz continues to save fuel and continues to just keep his gap nice and tidy. Steve Kuntz, I think, is gonna pull this off, man. Great strategy from him as he comes around these final two corners. He's gonna hit the line for 2 to go this time. 9-second gap to Fernando Rosario. I mean, this is insane. I can't say much else. I just didn't expect this. Keenan Kimber chasing down Jonathan Jurgensmeyer for this final podium spot as well. Keenan on the soft tires. He's got an advantage on Jurgensmeyer, who's setting significantly worse laps than he usually does. Yeah, 142.2 to compare to his 41.3, so almost a second that time by. Man, Steve Kuntz, this is really, really impressive. A great strategy from him. He's still got more fuel than Rosario. Rosario, if I'm him, I don't know really why I'm pushing at this point. You can't catch him on track. You just don't want to you run yourself out of fuel trying to chase him down. I mean, Steve Kuntz, driver for Speed Thieves Esports, that's Matthew Stott's team. They're partnered with 44R in this series, I'm pretty sure, so I mean, it was gonna be, I guess, two of the 44R Alliance members up here. Regardless, both of them had really good shots at this win, but Steve Kuntz is gonna steal it from Rosario and even Jurgensmeyer. I mean, Jurgensmeyer, don't get me wrong, he still needs to fight really hard because these two are really close on fuel. I mean, Rosario, he's only got just a little bit left, and same with Steve Kuntz. I mean, they're both blinking red. You've got to be worried that they're going to run out. I mean, if I'm Steve Kuntz, I'm backing it off way down, man. He doesn't got anything to fight for. He's 9 seconds ahead of Fernando Rosario, who's 4 seconds ahead of Jurgensmeyer. He's got a 13-second gap to the next closest car who has more fuel than him. I mean, he's got more fuel than Rosario. He doesn't have much to worry for. I'm sure he doesn't know that right now, but man, we'll see if Rosario can get around the racetrack one more time. But Steve Kuntz has pulled off one of the biggest upsets this season with this strategy. Saved enough fuel to get to the end here, and I think he's gonna win this race as long as he doesn't run out of fuel. He doesn't have a lot left, but I think he's gonna pull it off. Man, it's gonna be really close. They keep on flipping back to see how much fuel these two really have. Jurgensmeyer started to reel in Fernando Rosario as Rosario's backed it way off now, trying to get to the end. Jurgensmeyer, he's got to be aware that these guys are close on fuel now, that he has to push. Might still have a chance at this win. It's Rosario. I don't know if he's going to be able to get around, man. You can barely see the little bit of red left on the fuel meter. Same with Steve Kuntz. Steve Kuntz, he's probably got it in the lowest fuel mode right now. He's probably saving his you-know-what off. As Jurgensmeyer continues to reel in Rosario for this for this second place spot. Keenan Kimber with a 5/10 penalty. That's not going to help him reel in Jurgensmeyer. But Steve Kuntz is going to come around for this final sector as long as he doesn't run out of fuel. I'm trying to keep track of Rosario as he's on his last little cup of fuel, honestly. There's not much left, but Steve Kuntz is coming around the final 3 corners now. Coming through the penultimate corner. Steve Kuntz is going to be the first person to win a feature this season, not named Ridwan Hamza. Out of the final corner, Steve Kuntz pulls off the ultimate upset and saves enough fuel to win the feature race here at Barcelona. Fernando Rosario, can he make it to the end of this race on fuel? Oh man, it's going to be really close. He's out of fuel. Can Jurgensmeyer get there? Oh, Jurgensmeyer's going to be really close. He can't. Oh man, Rosario barely gets to the line on fuel. Runs out right before it, but keeps P2. Jurgensmeyer takes P3, the final podium spot. And Jurgensmeyer, probably not as mad at himself at this point, but still thought he had that race in his hands. A 3-second time penalty kind of throws it all away there. Keenan Kimber takes P4, AJ Knickel P5, Luke Allen P6. Got around Ridwan Hamza for P7. Ridwan, this is going to be a race that he wants to forget. He probably gonna put this away, never remember it again. Riker Lummel P8, he had a lot of issues this race. He pit late actually and still came out with P8, so good stuff from him. Jamal Stallings P9, Svein Robic had P10, also one of the cars to pit really late. Gabe Cazola P11, Kevin Kempley, yeah I said that, I think I said that right? Kempley? Kepley, Jesus Christ, Kevin Kempley, God, Travis, jeez. Came home in P13 and I've just been kicked out of the lobby, so can't finish the rest of the order. But man, that was, wow, that was a really fun end to that race. So we'll get our podium finishers in here now. So there's Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. We gotta get the other two in here though. AJ Knickel, for not on the podium, but he's here.
You don't gotta say it like that, man. Come on.
And the last one is Steve Kuntz. How do I tag them? Okay, I'm done.
I'm adding them.
Alright, well, yeah, alright. So we'll wait for, or I guess we can start now actually, now that I think about it. So we have our third place finisher here, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Jurg, I'm sure you had it in your sights there. I'm sure you thought you had it won. I mean, take us through your emotions there after the spin from Ridwan and throughout the rest of the race.
I mean, honestly, right after it happened, I was under the assumption that the people that pit under that last yellow, like Riker and all those guys, I thought they would be going to the end. So I was on the soft, and I don't know how many people were on the soft. So I was my main goal there was just pushing as hard as I could to pull as much of a gap for when I had to pit, and hopefully I would be able to get them back. But I mean, everyone was saying how they couldn't go to the end, and I was liking my chances. But I mean, I got a penalty on, I don't know what it was, for breathing, I guess, on pit entry or something, pit exit, I don't know, but 3 seconds. I mean, at the end, it didn't cost me a win, which I'm glad that Steve could win, so the penalty didn't cost me a win. But I mean, third, it's I'm fine with it. It's I liked my speed the entire time. I qualified well and put myself in a nice position, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, your third, fourth event on Gran Turismo, and you continue to reel off these podiums. Great stuff. Congrats on your P3. I know you wanted to win, but still a fantastic finish.
Yep.
Alright, and then is Fernando in the party? I didn't see if he popped up.
I do not believe he is. I did add him.
Oh, we'll tag him in the chat and see if he joins, and if not, then we'll just move on to our feature race winner, because I'm pretty sure I saw him join the party, so.
You can interview me if you want.
You're mid, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad race.
Yeah, I'm in the party.
Yeah, alright. I'll ask him. Oh, alright, he's gotta go. Alright. Alright, he can't unfortunately join us for a podium interview, so we'll go to Steve Kuntz. Steve Kuntz, I mean, fantastic strategy. Just take us through that strategy. Take us through what you were thinking.
Yeah, thanks. It kind of came out of the blue when I started with the softs, because I wanted to get rid of those as quickly as possible. That first safety car, it just, fit that idea like a glove, and I came in for mediums, and I was thinking, well, maybe I can now do medium soft, instead of medium. So I was still planning on stopping, and when we got going again and had another safety car, and I was looking at my fuel, and I was thinking, man, if I start cutting back consumption and don't burn out my tires, I might be able to actually pull this one stop off. And yeah, I did some pretty extreme fuel saving there in the closing laps, and I was able to turn up the wick the last lap and a half, just in case. I play in VR, so I have no idea how far anyone is behind me, what anyone's doing. So, but yeah, it worked out, and I was pretty surprised, pleasantly surprised.
Well, the man in VR is the only person not named Ridwan Hamza to win a feature race this season. So congrats on your feature race win.
Well, thanks so much.
All right, and that's about it here at Barcelona. Let me go get the sponsors, and we'll read those off and then end the broadcast here. It'll take me 1 second to pull these up. I completely forgot about it until right now. All right, here we go. We got SimLeaguePro.com, Burning Rubber Podcast, Dive Bomb, The Racing Rats, James McAdam, AJ Knickel Design, and Sim Rap Market, right? I think I said that right. Sim Rap Market, yeah. There we go. So go support all of our sponsors there, and that's all we have here for the 8th round of the Group 3 Masters season. Join us, I'm pretty sure, tomorrow night for the APC season, Race 4. Coming off a win myself in that series, so go watch that tonight. And I think you'll see us here next week for Bathurst, our last race of the season. But that's all we have here.